Me being old, I'm going to make this a bit bigger. Let's talk about, oh, before we get into more complicated stuff, let me show you something. Order of operations. Okay. We have an Excel function to do this, but let's say I wanted to solve the following equation. Now what's going on here? Oh, I don't think it did, but, huh. For now, I'm gonna, okay, something like that. Something wrong with my pen. If I solve that for T, for R, solving that for R, it's going to be FV divided by PV raised to the power 1 over T and minus 1. Okay. There is an Excel function that will calculate it, but suppose this is what we need to do. Let me get another blank sheet. You know what I like in terms of formatting. Let's look at the formula. FV over PV raised to the power 1 over T minus 1. Now, On that, I have students who have done similar stuff. One way I could do that is equals, we start all of our Excel formulas with that. Future divided by present raised to the power 1 over time minus 1. Let me change this. It's still creating an issue. Let's use a different color. Okay, some better visibility. That big enough. Guys, remember the order of operations? When did you first hear about it in your education? What grade were you? Third, fourth, something like that. If you're on an advanced setup, maybe second grade. The way order of operations goes, when there are multiple operations, unless they're separated by parentheses, exponentiations are done first. Okay? Then multiplications and divisions, then additions and subtractions. By the way, I have some pet peeves. One of those is there is no verb in English. It's called times. It's called multiply. So you multiply things, you do not times things, or you do not minus things, you subtract things or deduct things. So in this expression, I have no parentheses. So what is the first operation that's going to be calculated? C3 is going to be raised to the power of 1. What is C3? 500. Then there's going to be the divisions. And divisions are, when divisions are multiplications, there are multiple of them. They're executed from right to left, I think. So that means I'm going to divide 500 by 20. And I'm going to take that result and divide 1,000 with that. And at the end, I'm going to do subtract the 1. But that's not what I want. First of all, the exponentiation that I want to do is 1 over t. So let's make sure that I do that with a parenthesis. Okay? It's still not doing the right thing, but what I'm doing right now, I'm raising 500 to the power of 1 over 20. But that's not what I want to do. I want to raise the ratio of future and present to 1 over 20. To make sure that's the case, employ parentheses. If you're not sure about order of operations, and unnecessary parentheses never gives you a wrong answer. But if you omit the necessary parentheses, that's going to give you the wrong answer. In this case, that's exactly what I want. For example, if I want to ask the question, at what interest rate I would double my money if I invested at 20%? The answer is 352. How about 10 years, 5 years, so on and so forth? The reason I could do all of that, I paid attention to order of operation. There's a real life story about this. Let me tell you that story and I'll let you guys go. And on Thursday, the rooms are not like a sauna again, will be here. They are, we'll do on Zoom. Hopefully this time I'll have better notice. Back in 2010, this was right after the big crash in 2008. And there was a big discussion about what will happen if the country has too much debt. Two Harvard economists, actually one Harvard economist, one from Boston University, they published a paper, and the paper, based on cross-country comparison over time, seems to say that if the total national debt over GDP is over 90%, that's kind of a threshold. Suddenly, the country is going to be in deep trouble. You know, that was a pretty important political and economic distinction in those days, because the U.S. was right about that threshold. We are now way above that threshold.